Welcome to Story Time with a brief introduction to Les Misérables by Victor Hugo, one of the most famous novels in world literature. What is Les Misérables about? Les Misérables is a story set in France during the early 19th century. The novel shows the struggles of several characters, but the central character is Jean Valjean. He is a man who spent 19 years in prison for stealing a loaf of bread to feed his family. After his release, he finds that society does not forgive him for his past, and he has to fight to make a better life. The story follows Jean Valjean as he tries to leave his criminal past behind and become a better person, helping those in need. Throughout the novel, he encounters many other characters, such as Fantine, a mother who works hard to care for her daughter Cosette, and Marius, a young man who falls in love with Cosette. These characters all face difficult challenges and fight for justice, love, and hope. Themes in the novel. Some of the major themes in Les Misérables are justice and mercy. The novel explores the balance between justice, punishment for wrongdoing, and mercy, forgiveness and compassion. Love and sacrifice. Characters often sacrifice their own happiness for the good of others, showing how love can lead to great personal sacrifice. Social inequality. Hugo uses the novel to discuss the problems of poverty and the struggles of people who live on the margins of society. Redemption. The idea that people can change and find redemption is central to the story. Jean Valjean's journey shows that even those with a difficult past can start anew. Why is this novel important? Les Misérables is more than just a historical story. It's a reflection on the human condition. It explores how people deal with poverty, social injustice, and personal struggles. It reminds us of the importance of kindness, understanding, and fighting for what is right. Conclusion. In Les Misérables, you will encounter unforgettable characters and powerful lessons about life, making it a timeless work that still resonates with readers today. Whether you are learning English or just enjoying a great story, Les Misérables will inspire you to think about the world and your place in it. Thank you for joining us for this brief introduction to Les Misérables. Stay tuned for more exciting stories and explanations here on Story Time. Les Misérables by Victor Hugo. He who opens a school door, closes a prison. Victor Hugo, Les Misérables. The novel Les Misérables by Victor Hugo is a sweeping narrative that intertwines the lives of numerous characters, all struggling with their personal demons, social injustices, and the realities of 19th century France. The story's central figure, Jean Valjean, begins as a convict, but his journey is one of redemption and transformation. Jean Valjean was imprisoned for stealing a loaf of bread to feed his starving sister's children. For this seemingly innocent crime, he was sentenced to 5 years of hard labor. His punishment was extended due to multiple attempts to escape. After 19 years, Valjean is released from prison, but society has branded him a criminal. His new life as an ex-convict is full of struggles, as no one trusts him and he is rejected by society. However, his life takes a turn when he meets Bishop Myriel, a man of great compassion. The bishop welcomes Valjean into his home and shows him kindness, giving him food and shelter. In a moment of weakness, Valjean steals silver from the bishop. When the police catch him, the bishop surprises everyone by claiming that the silver was a gift and that Valjean had forgotten to take 2 candlesticks. This act of mercy changes Valjean forever. He decides to start anew and change his life, using the bishop's gift to live as an honest man. As Valjean seeks redemption, he takes on a new identity and becomes a successful businessman and mayor of a small town. However, his past is never truly behind him. Inspector Javert, a rigid and unyielding lawman, becomes obsessed with finding Valjean. Javert believes that justice must be absolute and that a criminal can never change. His pursuit of Valjean is relentless, and throughout the novel, we see the ideological battle between the mercy Valjean has been shown and Javert's uncompromising sense of justice. Valjean's journey is paralleled by that of other characters, including Fantine, a poor woman who is forced to sell her hair and teeth to care for her daughter Cosette. Fantine's heartbreaking story and her devotion to her daughter are key themes in the novel, and her death marks a pivotal moment in Valjean's life. Valjean takes responsibility for Cosette, raising her as his own daughter and protecting her from the cruel innkeepers, the Thénardiers, who had mistreated her. As Cosette grows older, she falls in love with Marius, a young revolutionary. Marius is part of a group of idealistic students who plan to rise up against the oppressive government in the June Rebellion of 1832. The story culminates in the barricades of Paris, where Marius and his friends fight for a better future. Valjean, now a father figure to Cosette, is caught between protecting his daughter and his sense of duty to help the revolutionaries. He risks his life to save Marius, and the novel concludes with a sense of hope and redemption, as Valjean's selflessness and sacrifices are recognized. Explanation of the novel for learners of English, extended. Welcome to this special introduction to one of the most iconic novels in world literature, Les Misérables, by Victor Hugo. In this video, we will explore the novel's plot, its characters, and its themes, helping you understand why this book has stood the test of time. Overview of Les Misérables' plot. Les Misérables is a long and detailed story that touches upon several important themes like justice, redemption, love, and sacrifice. The central character, Jean Valjean, is a man who spent 19 years in prison for stealing a loaf of bread to feed his sister's starving children. Upon his release, he is faced with a world that has no place for him, a world that judges him harshly because of his criminal record. The turning point in the novel comes when Valjean meets Bishop Myriel, a kind-hearted man who shows him mercy after he steals silver from the bishop's house. This act of kindness transforms Valjean. He decides to turn his life around and help others, becoming a successful businessman and mayor under a new identity. But the pursuit of Inspector Javert, a man obsessed with enforcing the law, keeps Valjean in constant fear. Alongside Valjean's story is the story of Fantine, a working-class woman who is abandoned by her lover and forced to sell her belongings to care for her daughter, Cosette. After Fantine dies, Valjean promises to take care of Cosette and raises her as his daughter. The love between Valjean and Cosette is one of the most touching aspects of the novel. Cosette eventually falls in love with Marius, a young revolutionary who is part of a group fighting for justice during the June Rebellion of 1832. Valjean, now an elderly man, is caught between his love for Cosette and his sense of duty to the ideals of justice and revolution. The story culminates in the barricades of Paris, where Marius and the students are fighting for change. Key themes in Les Misérables. Justice and mercy. A central theme of the novel is the struggle between justice and mercy. Jean Valjean's life shows that people can change and deserve a second chance, while Inspector Javert represents a rigid, unbending sense of justice that believes everyone should be punished for their crimes, no matter their circumstances. Redemption. Valjean's journey is one of redemption. He starts as a man hardened by prison, but transforms into a compassionate and selfless individual. His journey shows that redemption is possible, and that the choices we make can shape who we are. Social injustice. The novel also highlights the severe social inequality in 19th-century France. Many characters, such as Fantine and the poor people who live in the slums, suffer because of a society that does not care for them. Hugo uses these stories to criticize social structures and argue for compassion and equality. Love and sacrifice. The characters in Les Misérables show great love and make enormous sacrifices for the people they care about. Whether it's Valjean's love for Cosette or Fantine's sacrifice for her daughter, love is often portrayed as an all-encompassing force that leads to selflessness and acts of heroism. Revolution and change. The revolutionaries in the novel fight not just for political freedom, but for a better society where justice and equality are available to everyone. Hugo uses the story of the June Rebellion to show the power of youth and the importance of fighting for what is right. Why is Les Misérables important? Les Misérables is much more than a story about personal redemption. It is a profound meditation on the power of mercy, the nature of justice, and the importance of love. Hugo weaves together personal stories of suffering and joy, showing how the choices we make can change the course of our lives and affect the lives of others. The novel is also a critique of social structures. Through characters like Fantine and the students in the rebellion, Hugo shows how the poor and oppressed are treated by society, urging us to reflect on how we can create a fairer and more just world. Finally, Les Misérables teaches us that redemption, love, and sacrifice are powerful forces that can bring about real change. Through Valjean's transformation, we are reminded that it is never too late to change and make a difference in the world. Conclusion. In conclusion, Les Misérables is a story that addresses many important issues: justice, mercy, love, and revolution. It teaches us that redemption is possible for everyone, no matter how dark their past may seem, and that the choices we make define us. With its unforgettable characters and timeless lessons, Les Misérables remains one of the most important works of literature. Thank you for watching this introduction to Les Misérables. Stay tuned for more exciting summaries and analyses of classic literature here on Storytime.